Hi, everybody. Ryan Reed here from Dice Up the Classroom, and I'm here for a huge review on some more of my summer reads. We're going to get these going here right away. I am actually going to first go ahead and do something for fun, but just review Redesign by Liz Savage. This is really wonderful. Becoming a fearless, unique teacher in a traditional world. I was suggested to buy this by a friend of mine. I've known Liz for a couple of years online and followed her work, so I decided to finally pick up her book, Redefine here. And this was really a really enjoyable book. It has a nice little piece where it talks about how to reach with students through emotional work, how to get through your own stress, what are the purpose of spacing, flexible seating, and a few other things. So elementary teachers will really, really love this. And if you're a teacher looking for pieces in flexible seating in the middle school, high school level, there is a lot of pieces right here in Redefined by Liz Savage. I really liked a lot of pieces. I'm using some of her ideas for my own makerspace this fall. With a couple of the flex seatings, as well as doing some of the pieces for a little bit more student rapport, as well as my favorite, but also, of course, the dark cloud of failure and about how you learn from it. So this was a really enjoyable book. So Redefined by Liz Savage. Go ahead and pick that up. Moving also over to wonderful books. If you are a tech teacher or use it a lot in the classroom, well, look no further than Don't Ditch That Tech by, of course, my buddy Matt Miller, Nate Ridgway, and Angelia Ridgway. Don't Ditch the Tech is great. Many people always think less technology is better. I don't need to be that kind of teacher. Well, one thing that's really great about Don't Ditch the Tech, it's for any teacher, whether you're low tech or no tech, very high tech, instructional, blended classrooms, everything. There is tons of pieces here in Don't Ditch the Tech. I've been working a little bit more getting to student podcasts. There's a great section on here. There's some pieces using really here with such as Google Hangout chat, as well as doing some pieces of using the Vim, variety, intentional, and meaning. But what I really, really like about Don't Ditch the Tech is their survey at the very beginning of the book where you have to answer a questionnaire and it decides the questions. Are you a pilot, a museum exhibitor, a restaurant owner, a council member, or a creative art coach? I'm kind of a council member. I like to bring students in as well as other teachers, develop great ideas, take lessons that have a thought process, and incorporate them that way using technology. I would like to get myself to creative art coach because, as many people know, that is where I want to go in my career, is being more of an instructional technology coach or curriculum director is where I'm going. So Don't Ditch That Text, another part of the Don't Ditch the Textbook series. Go ahead and pick this one up. Great. I'm going to give it a full 100. It is a great book. And now I'm going to move on to something I haven't been able to do for a while. As you know, the Dave Burgess Consultant Incorporated Publishing has done not just teacher books and PD as well, but they also do picture books. One of their first one was P is for Pirate, which is a really good book. Well, luckily, I was able to finally pick up some more of their picture books, and one that was really on my quest for a long time, including for my son, who's 8.5, and he's getting to that more higher level reading, but wants to learn lessons from him. Well, look no further than Dolphins and Trees by, of course, Polansky. This is a really good story. I really like this because this really talks about empathy. It talks really well about this monkey whose family leaves, and he wants to, of course, try to see where they went. So he creates a device to get up in a tree, but he's too old. So he ends up asking several animal friends to help him, and of course they can't because, as the old saying goes at the beginning of the book, if everybody's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. What's so really cool about the dolphin in this story is, even though the monkey tells him, you're a dolphin, that's going to be hard for him, but he says, no, I've got to at least try. You've got a problem, and I want to help you. And it's really talks about taking chances, stepping out of that comfort zone to help others. And that's really what I love about this story, Dolphin and Trees. So it doesn't matter if you're elementary or preschool, there's a lot of nice lessons to use in Dolphin and Trees for your classroom about empathy, innovation, as well as love and caring. It's a really good one. And speaking of which, you can't go any farther than my friend Allyson Aspen with the Princes of Serendip. This is a wonderful story about 3 spoiled princes who go to live upon regular commoners in the village. A baker, a carpenter, and of course, finally, apologize here, and a farmer. And they learn about hard work, and they learn the thing about kindness, pride, and of course pieces of love. And it's just a great story, The Princes of Serendip, because it's a classic fairy tale of a life's lesson, but the way the pieces are, and to look, even though there sometimes life gets you wrong, as the one prince finds out with the baker, you know, you have to be thankful for what you have and what you can do. And there's just so much you can do in The Princes of Serendip. So I highly recommend picking this one up. And of course, my last book, which was a big book, and I've been waiting for since, and I got it right away, by Ashley Savage. No, not Liz Savage, it's Ashley Savage. And I actually done art by Genesis Kohler, who did P for Pirates. I Want to Be a Lot. Well, let's face it, everybody. We always ask the kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or what do you want to do for a living? And sometimes some have it pretty simple down. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a chef. I want to help people. I want to be a nurse. But at the same time, we have a lot of talents that get into it. I mean, I'm a great example. I was in healthcare and I did stock and I love doing hard blue collar work. But I switched and went into education, but I've been able to bring that out. I mean, same thing right here, even though I'm using Carrie, I'm giving you a shout out here with my little piece with my crafting, my perler beads, or using emojis or party pieces, or as you can see with Gigi with ST Math. I have a lot of different talents I have brought into being things. And when I was younger, I wanted to be a zookeeper. And another time, I actually wanted to be a construction worker until I found out how much of a klutz I was. But I'm still able to build things. And at another time, I wanted to be an office manager. And later on, I said, you know what? Maybe being a teacher is what I want to be. And that's what I found my passion in. One thing I like about What I Want a Lot is just how much the main character just goes through all the pieces on this and going through all the things she loves and does. And without really spoiling everything, what I really like is this is a progressive story. Because she goes on as the story goes, and it goes through the different grades and everything. 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, until she finally graduates. And I think this is what's a wonderful story, because she says it perfectly towards the end. And I want to read this without really ruining too much of the story, is you don't have to be just one thing. Your future story is yours, and you are the author. So don't limit yourself. You can be anything. This is a huge winner. My son read this, and actually he thought of the same thing, 8.5. And I have a couple of other people who have read this, and I think it's really great. As a business and technology teacher, I think a lot of students, by the time they're 14, 50, don't really have a career path. And I've had a lot of students where they say, well, my mom told me to be this, or my dad told me to be this, and I'll be that, versus what do you really want to do? And that's what's so great about this story here about Willow, is the fact that she loves to do stuff. So she comes in saying, I don't have to be one thing. I can be a lot. And what it is what's my story and what do I want to tell? And that's what's so great about this. So these are all really, really wonderful. I loved all these books. Some are really quick reads and some are definitely slower. Even in Don't Ditch the Tech, I've done a couple of things here myself, maybe just redefine, but I end up seeing a couple pages like, I've done that, moving on. Whoa, I've never done that. I love this. Same thing in Redefine. I've done this now. Whoa, I didn't think of that. Whoa, what a great idea, and so forth. I think the biggest surprises were really the picture books of how great these are, because they're not just for kids, but they can be for classrooms and teachers and everything else, and they are fantastic. So I will give them my wonderful 5 stars for all of them. So I highly recommend looking at these books here. Summer's coming in. I know I've already started lesson planning. It's going to be here before you know it. But Redefine by Liz Savage. Don't Ditch That Tech by Matt Millar, Nate Rigby, and Angelia Ridgway. The Princes of Serendip by Allyson Aspen. Dolphins and Trees by Aaron L. Patsky. And of course, I Want to Be a Lot by Ashley Savage. Go check them out, everybody, and I will talk to you later.